They're coming down to the feed zone. Critical time of the race as they head into the last half.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not one of these riders now. It's really difficult from here on out to get an advantage over your rival. If you've got the stronger climbing legs, you have to hit it hard on that road climb. But with a headwind like that, a rider sitting on is never going to get dropped, especially if he's made it this far along the race. So from this stage on, I really don't know what each of these riders should be thinking or how they're going to win the race.
Do nerves play into this? I mean, can the rider actually get quite nervous about the situation they're in and that have an effect on their concentration and the way they're handling the bike?
Yeah, for sure. Some guys, you know, they thrive on this sort of situation. They get the adrenaline going and, you know, they can just act on instinct, whereas other riders prefer to have it a little bit more comfortable. And both of these guys are great at handling the pressure and thriving off that. So I think we're in for a thrilling finale.
Yeah, I really agree with you. I think Absalon is irritated by this. What is this guy still doing here? I thought I got rid of you guys. And Schurter's not riding to Absalon's game plan at all. And he's going to have to really think hard about what he's going to do in this last race. And I think, like you said, he's aware that this kid can actually sprint quite well. He does not want to be with him coming into that finishing straight, because I'm sure that Schurter, if he's got some strength left and he's not expended too much energy, can fire out a really strong sprint. So here they are coming down towards the feed zone. This will be their second last run through the feed zone. We'll see if either of them take on some fluid or energy product. It's always a good sign to see how tired a rider is feeling by what they take on in the last feed zone, if they take on a lot or they're feeling quite comfortable. Here's Julian. Is he emptying his bottle and getting ready to take on a new one? Pops it back in the water bottle carrier. So no, doesn't take anything. Neither of them do.
I think the tactical battle is going to start now. You see Absalon looking over and Nino looking over, and they can see they've got a bit of a gap to play with. And yeah, I think from now on out, no one's going to want to lead, and it's going to be a real tactical battle down to the finish.
And if it is, you know, my money's on Schurter. I think he's raced really smart, and he's thought about this, and he knows he's got a good sprint. Let's see how they work here. They're talking together.
Nino's actually going to the front and attacking on this section. So, yeah, that's quite an interesting play.
It is. I'm not sure if that is something I would have advised, but he knows his body better than anyone. He knows how he's feeling. Maybe he's seen something in Absalon, a weakness. They're riding a lot closer than we are to them, so they can see stuff that we don't see. But no, he's just gone to the front there. I think he sort of said, I'm still fresh, don't count me out.
Yeah.
And heading up the road. They might swap a turn here. He's having a look around. I don't think Nino should be worried about third and fourth. He should only be focusing on Absalon right now. And hopefully he got that information. Both of them got that information from their staff and team. So hopefully they know that it really is just down to these two right now.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the reason for Nino's attack there was. He's kind of put himself out in the wind now. Like I said before, it's really hard to make a move up this section, and it was quite surprising. But he must be really feeling good, and he must be really confident to make a sort of move like that. And if you look at Absalon, their shoulders are just starting to drop just a little. And he'll be quite surprised by this. He would have thought that Nino would just sit on him to the finish.
Right, there goes Absalon trying to attack into the single track, but Schurter answers it well. Folks, we're watching a fascinating race unfold before us. This is the World Championships. It doesn't get better than this. The rainbow stripes, the prestigious rainbow jersey awarded to the world champion. He gets to wear that for a year and to say that he is the #1 rider in the world, and there's no disputing that. And they're fighting this out into the last 3 or 4 kilometres of this loop, and what a fascinating race it is. I've been privileged to see some of the most dramatic cross-country races in the world, and this one is really one of the most fascinating I've seen at world level. At the World Championships, you often get a rider that gets away because he's so supremely prepared for a race, but these two equally matched in the climbs, in the flats, in the descents. Really, really fascinating race unfolding before our eyes. I think you're right there on the shoulders of Absalon. He's looking a little bit more tired than I'm used to seeing him. I think he tried to get to the front in this single track there, and it didn't quite work. Schurter answered the question.
Well, that's the thing, you know, Absalon, everyone knows he's got the mental advantage, and he's such a strong rider, and I think the way Nino's playing it is actually really good. You know, he's shutting down everything that Absalon's trying to do and not letting him ride his own race.
If you're watching us in the early hours around the world, thank you for staying tuned. You're being rewarded with a fascinating race. This is the World Championships. It's down to these two guys here. We're about to get up into the breakout section. You'll see a peloton of coaches on bikes running along the road parallel to them, trying to encourage them now. They really don't have too much information they need to pass on. Just trying to yell at them and encourage them and get them to the finish. But really, Schurter at the front now. They'll come through the feed zone again. and that will be the very last time. They're not going to take anything on in the feed zone now, are they, mate?
No, definitely. Both these guys are just thinking about how they can win this race and how it's going to play out.
Yeah, very interesting. Schutter attacking a little bit again here. This is a smooth section where you can try and get some speed up. Really, this is fascinating. I would think that Absalon has to be worried now because Schutter's answered every question. He is a better sprinter, and he's leading coming into the final section down through the pouch over towards the feed zone. Even getting a little bit of a gap now. Not too much, but it is a gap.
Schutter's trying to force a mistake on Absalon's side. You know, he's thinking he's got him a little rattled. You know, like you said before, he's not used to being in this position, and you've got Nino pushing the pace up front. That's a very good recipe for a mistake.
And if he does win the world title, Schutter, and we mustn't call this too early, but if he does, it's very rare that an under-23 world champion from the year before goes on to win the elite world title. And in fact, the only person I could think could have done that, well, I'm just looking back through the ranks now, and under
maybe
20,
Martinez.
Yeah, maybe Martinez if he won it in 19. No, he didn't win it in 99. So no, I don't know of any other under 23 that's gone through to, and if any of our viewers can think of one, but this would be another piece of history in the making if he did in fact do that. Absalon, if he wins, will just keep adding to that amazing portfolio that he has of results, and one that just keeps on growing and growing. And I'm sure that's something he's aiming to do, but for sure that he'd be out to make history. So really fascinating for both riders here. Both of them will gain a lot by a world title, but both of them in different ways.
We see Nino just easing off on the pace there. He's also realized, you know, Absalon's not going to get dropped in this section, and he's going to try and conserve a little bit. Oh, but there he goes now, so called that wrong.
Yeah. But that's it. It's hard for us to read as well because both of these guys have got a different agenda now, and they're probably revisiting it every 100 metres or so. You know, Schutter's attacking, and then Absalon's answering it. They're really down to their last 5% of energy levels as well. They're going to be absolutely toasted by the time they cross the line, and that's great to see because that's what racing's all about, being able to judge it perfectly, put in 100% all the way to the line. You don't want to have too much left in the tank at the finish because you wonder what you could have done if you hadn't kept so much being conservative, and you don't want to die before the line. So they seem to have timed it perfectly. Through the feed zone, a lot of encouragement here from the different teams and staff, and Schutter's trying to attack again. Wow,
you see, Nino's definitely got a distinct advantage in the sprint, and even if Absalon comes back to him now, when they kick out of that last corner,
he's going to have nothing
left. Nino's just showed him, you know, he's got that sprinting power in his legs.
Yeah.
And Nino's actually opening the gap there, so this is really good and looking good for the Swiss.
If he's smart now, he's got the gap, and he's going to ask Absalon to use energy to get up, and once he gets up, he's got nothing left for the sprint. Fascinating riding and really intelligent riding by Nino Schutter. As you say, he's a big race day guy. He knows how to ride the big events, getting the bronze medal in the Olympic Games, winning the World Championship in under 23. Really, really talented big day rider. And it's great to see someone taking it to Julian this year because, let's be honest, in any discipline, in any sport, domination can get a little bit humdrum for the fans, and they like to see the leaders mix it up a bit. And we don't wish anything bad on Julian, but this is a fascinating race. Look at him now. This is Nino Schutter coming into the last 500 metres or so of the race, and he's got a gap of about 10 metres.
Well, you know, in a race like this, 10 metres is all you need. They're going to be going really fast to that last finish line. And, you know, if he gets to that last corner with a 5-metre gap and Absalon can't even get into the slipstream, I think that'll pretty much seal the race for him.
Yeah, he's actually been a 4-time world champion, Nino Schutter. He's about to make it 5. He won He's won under 23 twice, he's won a team relay, and he's won a junior world title, and he's about to try and make elite a part of his CV. Let's see if he can do it. The crowd is going nuts down here. A huge crowd has come down from the hills to watch Nino Schutter try and make history against the great Frenchman Julian Absalon. Nino Schutter has one corner to go. Can he do it? He's got the power in his legs. This is the rider to watch, and he's done it. Nino Schutter from Switzerland will take the 2009 UCI World Championship. He hasn't acknowledged it yet. He's having a good look behind. Now he realizes Nino Schutter is 5-time world champion, first time as an elite. What a fantastic ride. Intelligent bike racing by the